Victor. I hope I'm audible.
You are.
Okay, great. Steam was rising from the bonnet of my little car. Steam was issuing from my ears. The temperature gauge on the dashboard showed a bright red H. The temperature gauge in my brain indicated nuclear meltdown. I desperately looked at the roadside for any sign of a motor repair shop as I jerked my car forward with gentle taps from my foot to prevent it from exploding. And did I mention that the engine was right under my bottom? Hello, friends and neighbors. Did you ever feel that bad things keep happening to you for no rhyme or reason? That God had a bone to pick with you? That you are somehow chosen by the universe to be the guinea pig for every new misery it invents? The sordid affair began a few weeks ago. My phone rang. It was my better half. And no, we aren't in the habit of exchanging warm pledges of love during the workday, so it had to be bad. Did something happen to her, or the kids, or my mom? It turned out it was our little Japanese van that she uses for her kids and daily commute to and from school. Now, this car, charmingly named Suzuki Every, is a wonder. It is tinier than a subcompact, has a 600cc engine, yet it can seat 5 people and 4 more children or midgets. Its engine is under the seat and the battery is beneath the cargo area. Since it's a car made for the Japanese domestic market, it is super reliable, and that was its undoing. You see, the car had overheated, spewed steam, and my wife had left it parked on the roadside and hailed the cab. I contacted a repairman and he gave the grim verdict. The engine had died a fiery death and needed to be replaced. Needless to say, it was an expensive process that cost an arm and a leg and made a considerable dent in my savings. All that was done with the car repaired and properly tested. Imagine my surprise when I received another call in the office from my wife. This time I thought it really would be an eloquent note of love and undying loyalty. Smiling, I picked up the phone and said, "Hi, honey. No time for pleasantries. The car overheated again. I left it on the roadside. Please go and fetch it." Grr. I left office in my official vehicle, handed it over to Mademoiselle, and reluctantly walked out to our stubborn box on wheels. It was not on fire. That was a start. Then I turned the ignition. It started without fuss. I grew more confident. A mile or so later, the dreaded red lamp ignited again. My brain started to sizzle. What the frick, God? I've lost all my savings already. What are you trying to make me do? Do you have no heart? How do you expect me to deal with it? For once, give us a break. My admonitions rose in pitch and intensity along with the heat under my bottom. By the time I spotted a motor repair shop on the roadside, we both were about to go up in flames. I explained the problem to the technician. He said, "It looks like your car is losing water or coolant. Let me take a look." He opened the bonnet, did some testing, removed a pipe, blew into it, and then fixed it back. Then he handed the keys back to me. "What?" I said. "You are good to go." There was a bubble inside the water lining, which was blocking the cooling circulation. I fixed it. I started the car, mashed the accelerator. The 3-cylinder 660 engine roared with the sound and fury of a Ferrari V8. Still, no red light and no heat beneath my dash. I asked the repairman, "Okay, how much do I have to pay?" "Sir, give whatever you want, and no need if you don't have anything." I stared at him, open mouth. Come again? Sir, I said you don't have to pay anything or pay whatever you want. Here was this person who had fixed a life and car-threatening situation, yet he was humane enough to forego any payment despite the fact that I clearly owned a car and I could have paid anything he asked. And here I was complaining to God about my predicament, whining about my first world problems, somehow feeling entitled to glide through life without any troubles, and screaming my head off at the slightest sign of a roadblock. To this day, I find it hard to believe the supernatural generosity and kindness that the repairman showed, and nothing that belongs on this earth. I believe after ranting and raving and complaining to God that day, he came out of the shadows and met me at the roadside, and he gave me an almighty slap in the face without moving a finger. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, how many times have you felt that it was all too much for you? How many times have you raised your head up to the sky and screamed? The universe listens, and it has ways of easing the pain. All we need to do is to shut our mouths, open our hearts, open our eyes, and look around. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Talha bin Hamid. Mr. Talha, give us 1 minute for those of a mind to write a note to Mr. bin Hamid. Thank you. Good talk. God will do that.